How's it going? I'm Desmeric, and I hope you're having a great day today. While we have no big news or anything released quite yet, I wanted to highlight the character Kraken. I briefly mentioned them in a previous video, but not much was shared other than some concept art, which is pretty cool, I will add. For those unfamiliar, Kraken is planned to be Medallion Slate's next upcoming hero to Revenblade. Kraken is going to have two different forms to utilize and terrorize the battlefield. There is a bit of lore tied to this character as well. Kraken is a species of creature that is primarily aquatic and is hunted by Sakara, another character on the horizon for the game. Someday. I wanted to make this video for speculation about Kraken's kit, as we don't really know what Kraken's abilities are, only some concepts on what they could be. I think this could be a fun thing to do, so why not, right? Let's get to it. As mentioned earlier, Kraken will have two forms to swap between, making them a stance changer of sorts. Kraken will have different abilities depending on which form they are currently taking. Their true form, where they take the image of a walking tentacle hentai. Hey, don't go with that. Stop. And Stalker form, which has Kraken be more humanoid with two legs and a bulkier kind of appearance. Looking at the concept art, we can see different abilities that Kraken may have. With true form, it looks as though Kraken takes on more of a disruption type of playstyle with what looks like a knock-up or even a stun-like ability. I think this is a nice fit considering Revenblade doesn't have a character like this. Revenblade has crowd control to a degree, but not to this level. There's roots and stuns, even grounded is an interesting crowd control effect, but as far as I can remember, there's not any knockups, or hardly any. Ona has a knockup with one of his augments, but that's the only one I can think of. It appears that True Form will also have some sort of ranged attack that may spawn crystals on impact. I can't imagine this ability having much range, as Revenblade's design philosophy is to not have a lot of range in the game, or at least not let it be so dominant. For a basic attack, it looks to be a simple slash, but with an electrical effect. I think this implies that this can leave an effect on your target to interact with using other abilities. Maybe even slow a smack enough times? This form has a good chunk of AoE attacks. You have this barrage attack here and this crystal explosion attack. I definitely see the barrage skill being a toggle slow attack, like a Kraken from Smite, just without the messed up movement and less use of gamer words. The crystal explosion seems to be a lot more ranged oriented. Maybe this could be a skill used for those shards that one ability potentially drops? Then there's the underground spike attack. This feels like a heavy ability. It just looks like it could chunk your health bar with the added knockup effect. This form definitely has some zoner vibes to it, and with Gaia being the only thing Revenblade has to a zoner, I very much welcome this addition. I'm quite interested to see where this form goes. I think this kit looks solid, and if you can master it, you can be a force to be reckoned with. It can feel very rewarding chaining your abilities together to keep the enemy team away, or just to do a shitload of damage. Let's take a peek at the Stalker form. This form seems to have more of a gimmick tied to it with spikes. Maybe it could pair well with the crystals that the true form potentially leaves. Looks as though for a basic attack, Kraken takes spikes out of its body and just hurls them. Going by this graphic, it seems as though it would have some sort of ammo count. Though this could just be an R&B skill, as that could just make the most sense. Then again, Marcus uses up ammo for his basics, so who's to say Kraken doesn't follow the same rules here? Right here we can see Kraken impaling someone with their spike. I could see this ability either slowing or even leaving a sort of bleed effect. Hell, Pokeo los dos. This could even be an empowered basic attack or something. After a few swings, maybe your next attack has you thrust or lunge forward, impaling your enemy. Now this ability absolutely has to be the mobility skill. Using their tentacle prowess to swing around, then possibly recasting and turn into a spiky ball? This seems pretty cool, as it can get you around the map, but also can be used as an engagement tool. Maybe you leap up and slam down in ball form for some extra damage, or hell, the landing knocks back your target. I think this is a cool ability regardless. Looking at this section here implies that Kraken could just volley their spikes out to set up for a burst of damage. This definitely feels like a heavy ability, considering that most characters definitely have that sort of ability that screams heavy. Like Ona's Katana Slam, or Kaizen's Staff Twirl, or Vivian's Explosive Arrow. You could recast this ability again to set off the spikes for that damage, or it's all done at once, like you hurl all the spikes and as soon as they land, they go off. Seems Stalker form also gets some AoE love. This ability looks like it could be a channel type of skill, or even just a duration based one. I think either works for this, and could pair well with the mobility mentioned earlier. Swing up and then slam down as a ball landing in the middle, then just spin the win. I can definitely see the combo play here. Just like with True Form, I think Stalker has some potential combo play with the skills, and honestly, could just be a blast to pull off. Well, for you, it'll be fun. I'd imagine the enemy team would just cope and see, with a dash of maul. Even if we don't know what Kraken is capable of, it's interesting to speculate how much of a monster this character could be in Revenblade. I look forward to seeing more of Kraken as time goes on. As a patron, I've seen some things that Medallion Slate is working on, and will say that it looks as though they're making headway after the holidays. Granted, I'm not a game designer, so I know it's much more complicated than I'm making it seem. If you like what you see of this game, join the Discord and become a patron yourself. Becoming a patron means you get to see updates before everyone else, and will take priority for when playtests occur. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this video. Feel free to comment below what you think the abilities mean, or what you think they could do. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. I do want to apologize for the lack of uploads for these videos, and for the Revencast. For me, personally, holidays and work have gotten in the way quite a bit, to say the least, and I'm sure the same could be said for a lot of you. Here's hoping for quicker video releases. Thank you again for watching. Hope to see you soon.